sports, Travis?
Barstool Sports.
Titus, Brandon Walker, Mostly Sports.
Welcome to Mostly Sports. I'm Mark Titus. He's Brandon Walker. He is somehow surprised that we are doing the show, even though it is 9:03 Central. It is Monday, January 8th. We are live from Chicago. And you all right over there, Brandon? What do you want to talk about?
Tell you what Oppenheimer needed. One more hour. My New Year's resolution in 2024? It's to finish Oppenheimer by 2025. I tell you what, this Joe Coy has his finger on the pulse of what's funny in this world.
Yeah.
I mean, this motherfucker's funny. What do you want to talk about? Football. Football. I might do a Joe Coy joke every couple of minutes. It's fine. He's a professional comedian. And he said, Mark, he only had 10 days to write it.
That's not enough time to write
Jokes.
To write jokes.
Yes,
Yeah,
jokes. I'm laughing to hide the pain. The NFL ended yesterday, the regular season.
We're just doing book bag on the desk? Is that what we're doing? We're just going.
You're right.
We got 3 bottle caps with 0 bottles. Okay. And we have a random ass remote to what? What is that remote to?
To the TV with the PlayStation 2.
Okay.
Is that one okay?
Yeah. I was just in a
phone?
red Solo cup just on the corner.
We're out of waters in Barstool HQ5, whatever this is.
All right.
The NFL. Okay. Yep. I'm a Dolphins fan.
Yep.
He's an Eagles fan.
Yep.
Who do you think should be more disappointed today? Because that's who we're going to start with.
Do you want my rational?
Yes, I want your actual.
If we're looking at this rationally, or are we looking at this through the lens of insane football fans that are maniacal about their football team?
I want to look at it rationally. Like you as a
Rationally, it should be Dolphins because the Eagles fans should have rationally understood, even when they were winning, they were not that good, and that this was that the come down was.
But
always
that's
coming.
the truth, Connor.
Yeah,
Even when
that's the truth. That's not me talking shit. That's like the reality.
That 10-1 start, we said it when it was 10-1.
Even when you were 10-1, we every week we would pause and we'd be like, "Yes, you're winning, but," and then you'd be like, "A win's a win," and I'd say, "True, but you know." Are we worried about the come down? And you're like, no, why would we worry about that? We're winning.
But nobody could have predicted.
I
this.
think
a lot of people did. I think a lot of people
getting blown out by the Giants, losing to the Arizona Cardinals at home. Nobody anticipated that. This is a completely different team.
Brandon, go ahead and open the envelope that I wrote in the envelope.
He just wrote down this. He predicted this.
Yeah, I did. That's true. So I think rationally I would say the Dolphins because the Dolphins, even though I think you're a finesse bitch team, I do think the Dolphins are still a good football team.
I'd like to pull that apart.
And
I don't think that's the actual problem. I know it's funny to say finesse bitch team, but I think there's bigger problems than just being a finesse bitch team because the Dolphins led the league in rushing. They, I think, either led the league or were way up in sacks. Like in indicators that indicate you're not a finesse bitch team, they were actually good. I just think the quarterback's not good enough. I think that's what it is. And I think the fact that he's a lefty that throws a softball makes them look more finesse bitch than they are. I think they lose games because the quarterback's not good enough.
I don't know. That's a little too complicated. I think just saying finesse bitch team makes it a lot easier for me.
But they're not a finesse bitch team.
But it's a lot easier for me, Brandon. It's a lot easier for me when the Dolphins lose to just say finesse bitch team.
It's a good phrase. I don't mind the phrase. I don't think it applies to this particular team. I think overrated quarterback is the better phrase.
Yeah.
Because last night, as a Dolphins fan, and I don't want to put that out there that big because I don't get as upset as Nicky Smokes or Frank the Tank do. So I don't want to play that role. But watching it, when Josh Allen got the ball, and Josh Allen played his C+ game last night. Like, he was not good. He was okay, but he turned the ball over 3 times. He had 2 picks, but every time he got it in the second half, I was scared of what he might do. And then when Tua got it, I was also scared for wildly different reasons.
Yeah,
like Tua's not good enough. He's not good enough. When you actually get in this moment, Tua Tagovailoa is not good enough for the Dolphins to win these games.
I actually think he is. I don't know. He's pretty good to me.
I think in low pressure situations and when things are not at stake, they can scheme him into looking better than he is. I don't think he's making tight window throws. I don't think he's doing what Josh Allen.
What kind of quarterback is he? Is he a sling it, a let it rip guy? Is he in light of throws catchable balls? I think is where we landed on last time.
There's another one, but I think he's a system guy. I think he's a system guy who throws a catchable ball. That's what I think he is. He's certainly not a sling it guy. He's not a let it rip guy. And if you had Tyreek Hill, you would sling it or let it rip, wouldn't you? And then Tyreek Hill's not playing. Was he dropped a couple passes on that last drive? Anyway, you got an offensive genius head coach who wears sweatpants, which makes him cool, right?
Yep.
And then you get in the second half and you have 24 yards going into your final drive.
Mike McDaniel is – I did have an epiphany when we were talking on the Yak about Jim Harbaugh, and everyone was trying to explain to me that Jim Harbaugh is cool. And I was like, are you guys – fucking blind to what
that was the weirdest conversation.
That was so weird. He's a good football coach.
I have no idea where that conversation
argue he's a good football coach, argue he's going to win the national championship, whatever, argue all of that. You're telling me he's cool. I was like, what is going on right now? But then I had the epiphany, he's cool because he's winning, and the coolest thing you can do in sports is win.
But that's still not cool. That's still not cool. No,
I agree, but I agree with you. I do not think he's cool. I think the reason people think he's cool, when I vividly remember
people don't think he's cool. They just got like locked into for some reason they were saying it and then they started defending it. Nobody on earth thinks he's cool. It's like if you just say winning is cool, that means you had to think that Coach K was cool when he was winning.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
I think that's what happened.
That's not cool.
To bring it back to Mike McDaniel is cool as fuck when they're scoring 70 points.
Yeah.
And when they're not, he's a dork, and he's
dorky as fuck.
Yeah, and I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. I think the coolest thing you can do in sports is win. I think if you're someone, if you're an athlete or a coach and you care about your perception publicly, I think you should just win games. I think that's step one. If you are a winner, people will think you're cool. If you are not,
what if you're cool as fuck, but you lose?
Who's the coolest guy that was a perennial loser? Joe Namath. You're looking at Joe Namath.
Joe Namath is kind of a loser outside that one time.
Yeah. No, I realize that though. That I guess you realize it at various points throughout your life, but it's like really on the forefront of my mind right now. Is that like that's honestly how it works? And you talk about like the Chiefs, Travis Kelce, not really as cool right now. But if like the Chiefs were 15-2 this year, he'd be the coolest motherfucker ever. But
is having sex with the most famous woman in America cool?
It's not as cool as winning football games.
All right, so
it's not as cool as.
But having sex is the coolest thing you can do.
A lot of people have sex, dude.
No.
A lot of people have sex.
The cool part is the reputation you have for having a lot of sex.
Right, that's the cool, right?
I don't think. How is having sex the coolest thing you can do?
Okay, all right. What's the coolest thing you can do?
A lot of people have sex.
It's fly an airplane.
We've done this. Fly a fighter jet, right?
Fly a fighter jet, yeah.
Not just an airplane, because those commercial pilots are dorky as hell. right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it has to be fly a fighter jet.
Or a private plane.
Private plane's kind of cool. Yeah, if you're the
Those guys are cool as fuck when they get in there. Yeah, okay.
what can there be commercial pilots that are cool?
I bet there's some.
What's the what are you flying that's
but
cool
I
like
doubt
that?
there's any fighter pilots that aren't cool.
Sully was cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably cool. Yeah, I would say, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of angles to take with the NFL. The Dolphins blew it. The Eagles suck. We'll talk about the playoff game. C.J. Stroud's amazing. We can talk about him in a minute. Jameis Winston. on a day where most NFL fans are either ecstatic or just mad, Jameis Winston just goes out there and does Jameis Winston things. Like, I'm convinced more than any athlete of our time, he exists in his own world.
Yeah. Yeah, yesterday was all about the future for the NFL. Like, every team was, like you said, either happy or angry. And
Yeah.
it was based on what the future is in terms of
Whether it's short term or
yeah,
long
did we
term.
get the draft pick we wanted? Do we look good for the future, or is the playoff matchup? Or do we have momentum going to the play? Whatever.
Seed, stuff
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
virtually every fan base. There are exceptions, but every fan base was like, I'm looking at this week more so as a springboard to what's to come.
Right.
And Jameis Winston was like, I'm going to live in the here and now.
Yeah.
Fuck the future. We're living right now, and I'm going to hand the ball off and run up the score in victory formation.
Winston.
We decided as a team, even though the head coach had no idea this was happening. So it's his team now? Is that the idea?
Jameis Winston's post-game interview where he calmly explains this decision is one of the best post-game interviews of all time because he is very, it's just, listen, we went out there. It was victory formation. The play helped us get a victory. What's the problem? What's the problem? The whole and he also, the one thing he is saying, the whole team decided. The whole team. Has anybody else on the team stood up and said, yeah, we were
Yeah. I need you to explain to me how Florida State won a national championship with Jimbo Fisher and Jameis Winston. Because, like, all the data that I have seen since they won that national championship is that Jimbo Fisher can't coach football and Jameis Winston's kind of a bozo. So how did that happen?
I don't think
who gets credit for that.
I guess I don't think the bozo had set in yet. I don't. I think the pure talent overwhelmed the bozo-ness at that point.
Yeah.
And then he matured into quite the bozo. Not to say there weren't bozo tendencies that year because he was getting himself into some fucking
I was going to say
trouble.
was the year where he was suspended, but was that the year after or
the year was suspended was after.
Was the year after.
The year
which culminated
the
in
first year,
the bungling of the ball against Oregon in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, the first year was pure perfection on the field, national title, also sex scandal that almost derailed the whole thing.
Okay.
The second year was the year where it went
that was the crab
crazy.
legs.
That was the crab legs. That was the fucker right in the pussy.
Yeah.
That was getting suspended, but getting dressed and going and warming up.
That's the one I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was when he was suspended and he still just went out and warmed up. That was the following year.
But even just with the Saints, and he hasn't been the starter the whole time. You had the eating the W. Now you have yesterday. He is he's a content machine.
Was this disrespectful in your eyes? A lot of people saying it's NFL football.
I don't
baby.
think it was
There's
disrespect.
if there's time on the clock.
Okay.
And you don't want them to score. Here's an idea: tackle them.
Those people are assholes.
I agree.
Stupid. Those
I
people
agree.
are hardos and trying to look tough. Oh well, yeah. You don't want to score? Stop them. These motherfuckers came out in the victory formation.
Yeah.
They came out. It was what 2 seconds left, 3 seconds. I don't know how much time was left.
It's like a minute or so.
It was like a minute. They were at the 1 yard line. The Falcons had given up, and you see them in victory formation, so you're not going to try. You're not gonna. You might give them a token, stand the offensive lineman up, but you're not going to try. And then they're up 41-17, and they go from the victory formation. They run it. Nobody's ever run a play from the victory formation ever in the history of football. This was assholishness at the highest level. And you can say, "Oh yeah, you're just sad because you gave up." Yeah, there's standards in sports, and when they come out in victory formation, that means something.
Yeah.
And like if you score off of that, you're just putting your thumb in their eye for no reason.
Right.
And then the coach that got mad got fired last night. So not a good day for him.
I'm not going to pretend like I lost sleep over it or whatever.
Oh, I don't care.
I don't actually care. I just think that if you're like a Falcons coach or player or whatever and you were pissed off, I don't think that makes you a sour grapes loser.
My favorite part of that that thing, Arthur Smith comes out there, and you can kind of hear him yelling at him, "It's bullshit, it's bullshit." And as they're doing it, one assistant coach for the Falcons walks by and just crop dusts and says, "Bitch ass pussy" or something like that. Something bitch ass motherfucker. That's what he does. He just walks through the screen, bitch ass motherfucker. That's bitch ass motherfucker is a great.
That's
thing.
what I guess. Like I'm not like super mad about it. I think that the Falcons were well within their rights to drop a bitch ass motherfucker.
You've
the
played
situation. I think
a lot of sports.
Yeah. Yes.
Bitch ass motherfucker way up there.
Yeah. It feels cathartic. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just watch this. Hey, this prep sheet today, Evo, it's not that great.
You're a pussy ass bitch.
Damn,
he got me. I was setting up.
Bitch, do it.
Bitch ass motherfucker.
Nah, pussy ass bitch lands way harder.
Pussy ass.
The way
bitch.
he
Pussy ass bitch.
Pussy ass bitch. Okay, so is pussy ass bitch number one? Pussy ass. No, bitch ass motherfucker's way.
If you met a woman who had a pussy ass. No, if you did meet a bitch with a pussy ass.
Do you ask
that
it?
It's called a pussy.
Do you ask it as a question at that point? Pussy ass bitch. Wow. Okay. We are just real quick before we go any further. We're ignoring tonight, or what? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about that?
I continue to hate that I have been put in a position where
I'm asking you a question, bitch ass motherfucker.
How did you become the Michigan hater on the show? I will always be confused by this. It is very frustrating to me every time Michigan football gets brought up. I have to be the voice of reason. And you're the one spiraling. I don't like this, Brandon.
I've dealt publicly with Dave Portnoy more than you have.
Okay.
Publicly.
Okay.
I publicly.
That's one man. I've dealt with the Michigan people.
That's fine.
For 15 years
but
now.
Dave Portnoy is Mr. Michigan, especially because he can't name 3 players on the team. He hasn't attended a game there in decades. You wouldn't know he was a Michigan fan until they got good. But now that they're good and he's a piece of shit, he's out there, Mr. Michigan, Mr. Michigan, Mr. Michigan. And I've had a lot of dealings with him, and I fucking hate him, so I want him to lose. And he's not going to lose. They're going to win.
Yeah, they are going to win.
By 3 touchdowns, 31-10.
Which is not me disrespecting Washington at all. I think Washington's very good. But yeah, Michigan is destined.
They're gonna roll them, and then we'll be here tomorrow, and we'll talk about it. And
I just hate that tomorrow you're going to be sadder than I am. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, maybe you need to step up your Michigan hating game. You ever think about that?
I suppose so, but it's just
sorry.
It's like Ole Miss wins the national championship, and I'm furious about it. And Brandon's like, "It's gonna be okay, buddy. It's okay. We can get through this." No, Michigan's going to win. Give me a quick preview for real. Michigan's going to run it down their throat. Is that
so?
What we
Texas
expect?
averaged 7 yards a carry and did not commit to the run. They continued to put Quinn Ewers back there, despite no real good reason to. Of course, when they were fighting to catch up in the second half, I understand it, but in the first half, they could have committed to the run. Michigan will commit to the run immediately. Blake Corum will have 2 to 3 touchdowns. He'll run for 125 yards. J.J. McCarthy will make one great throw tonight, and then people talk about how good he is, even though he'll go 9 for 11 for 125 yards and a touchdown, and they'll win 31-10. And the defense is they'll get after Penix. They might not sack him as much, but their corners on the back end. You'll see all these beautiful throws and contested catches by Washington will not happen tonight, in my opinion.
Okay. I don't think this is going to happen. I'm just trying to find a silver lining for you, Brandon. How does Washington win? Because I don't think it takes a miracle. It takes
Penix being Vince Young. If Penix is Vince Young tonight, if Penix throws for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, and if everything Michigan does on defense doesn't work, if they rush him, like for example, if they have to bring 5 or 6 to get to him and it leaves the back end unprotected and he's just able to slice and dice, fine, that works. I just don't know if that defense is capable of being beat like that.
Yeah.
That defense is really good at every single level.
But Penix is like 10 times better than any quarterback they've played.
I don't know if 10 times is enough. I think it might be like 50 times better.
Like
than any quarterback
Michigan's
they played.
defense is incredible, but
You're talking to Kyle McCord, Drew Aller, Jalen Milroe. Penix is better than all three combined.
yeah.
So this is the best offense they played. This is the best. Quarterback they played. However, it is significantly the best defense Penix has played.
Yeah.
It's not close. So I think there's a little bit of that too.
Sounds like an either-or game to me. Sounds like Michigan could win it or
Washington can win.
Washington could win it.
There you go. There's your preview.
The Washington wins if what? Like because I think Michigan's going to run it down their throat, but what if, and I don't think this is too far-fetched, what if Washington gets the opening kick?
Yeah.
Penix is just dicing him up because he's probably the most talented college quarterback in the country. Didn't win the Heisman, but he can fucking sling it, let it rip, whatever you want to call it. And Washington marches down with big chunks of like 15-yard passes, scores a touchdown, takes a 7-0 lead. And then Michigan is just like playing from behind all game.
If you can make Michigan chase, that's ideal. Because then you put the ball in J.J. McCarthy's hands, and that's Washington's quickest path to victory. He will make a mistake or two.
Yeah.
He tried to against Alabama. He got lucky. But if he's chasing like he had to do against TCU jumped out on him. He had to chase, and then he fucked the whole thing up. But the problem is, Michigan's fallen behind 7-0 a lot this year.
Right.
But they never fall behind more than 7-0.
Yeah.
They always
and they were behind against Bama in the fourth quarter.
They always get it right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 7 points being behind, I'm talking about being like 10-14 behind immediately and thinking and it throws you off your game and you have to throw.
Yeah.
And if you get Michigan in a situation where they have to throw, you will beat Michigan.
No, I was agreeing with you that they were even against Bama, they were only down 7 when it felt like Bama was about to put the game away.
They never did.
They never really did.
If Bama if he had not fumbled at midfield and they had been able to go up 10 or 11, I think obviously that makes sense that they would win the game if they're up more. But I think that would have broken the way Michigan was able to come back.
Yeah,
because I don't think they would have been able to use the same tactics.
But I do think that's Washington's path to victory. Is they gotta jump out to a lead. They gotta get Michigan playing from behind because Michigan will be able to run it down their throat. But can you do that? Michigan will get a little scared to maybe do that if you're down. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but a world where they're down like 14-0 because Washington
I don't know that
scored and then
I don't know that it scares you so much. It just throws you off your rhythm. Like all of a sudden you're down 14-0, you think you got to hit a play that scored 14 points, and then that's not Michigan.
And you get away from what got you here.
It's exactly
which is what they did against Bama, which was crazy to me that they were
got
running
it back though.
I know, but they were running the razzmatazz, and I was like, you're fucking dominating them. Where's this Raz coming from? Where's the Mataz coming from?
Is that 3 separate things or 2?
Razzmatazz?
Yeah. Is it Raz, Mataz, or is it Raz?
Mataz. Mataz is one thing.
Mataz is one thing.
Yeah.
So what's Mataz?
It's the cousin of Raz. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's
so Raz doesn't work without Mataz, or Mataz doesn't work without Raz.
I think you can Raz, but when you add the Mataz,
it just takes it to a whole.
It takes it to a whole nother level. I think Raz is. I think you're razzing when you're bringing in Orgy on a.
That's Raz.
That's Raz. Orgies are razzing. When you're bringing in Orgy on a 2nd and 5.
But when Orgy throws it to McCarthy, who throws it down the field, that's Mataz.
Now we're Matazing. Now we're razzing and Matazing. Yes, you get it.
There's an indoor amusement park in Chicago called Razzmatazz.
Okay.
I just looked up Razzmatazz on Google. Yeah, that's what pops up.
All right. Thank you, Connor.
I didn't realize that'd be an actual place.
All right.
Is that a situation where we have to establish the Raz before the Mataz?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I think you got to put the Raz on tape.
What fucks a lot of teams up is they try to go straight to the Mataz way too soon.
Yeah, Mataz without putting the Raz baseline down is reckless.
Checking as eligible.
Back to the NFL.
Back to the NFL.
So playoffs are set. We have the Packers are going to the Cowboys. I'm just reading off the sheet of the order in front of me. Packers going to the Cowboys, which is a game that I think Packers fans are slowly talking themselves into. This Packers offense is rolling.
I mean, you
Jordan
can see
Love
why
is
they
good.
would talk their way into it, right?
I do think the Cowboys are not going to win the Super Bowl, but the Cowboys at home have been good. So I I don't think the Packers are going to win this game. But
I think the Cowboys could go to the Super Bowl. And that's just because I don't want to only have one team in the NFC that's possible to get in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, the Lions.
Oh, come on.
I trust the Lions.
You trust the Lions more than the Cowboys?
Yeah, because the Lions are too stupid to know that they're not supposed to win.
The Lions got to play.
The Cowboys. When the Cowboys go to San Francisco, they're going to realize there's an aura around it of like, we're not supposed to win this game. We're not going to win this game. The Lions are too dumb to. Dan Campbell's too dumb to know that he's not supposed to win that game.
But don't you think the Lions getting here, winning the division, getting the 3 seed, everything's magical and wonderful and great, and here comes Matthew Stafford to fuck it all up? Like that's a totally Lions story that they got to play the guy that they couldn't break through with for a decade. Then he leaves, he wins the Super Bowl. Now he's going to come back and crush your dreams.
That is true. The Rams, Matt Stafford coming back to Detroit.
That's
a little too much. Detroit's at their best when they're not thinking about it too much.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's why I think that they're better suited to beat the Niners. I don't necessarily think they're better than the Cowboys, although they kind of should have. They might be better than the Cowboys. They might be better than the Cowboys. But I like playoff teams that are too dumb to realize. Like that was the Bengals when they went to the Super Bowl. They were too stupid to realize they're supposed to lose.
Yeah, but
at some point,
you talk about the Lions.
Joe Burrow's like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna keep winning. We're gonna."
You said you don't know if the Cowboys are better than the Lions. The Cowboys and Lions played, and the Cowboys beat the shit out of them, dude. The Cowboys beat the hell out of them. Yeah, we saw it on TV.
But that was then, right?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
We have Browns at Texans on Saturday.
They did beat the shit out of them. It was
Browns at Texans on Saturday. Texans are the ultimate, and I know Dan makes this joke a lot, but they're the ultimate for a decade and a half. They can get to the playoffs. They can never win a game. Can C.J. Stroud be the guy that wins?
Yeah, the Browns beat the fuck out of the Texans the one time they played, but
right.
C.J. Stroud didn't play, right? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do I have that correct?
Mark, C.J. Stroud, that goddamn pass at the beginning of the game was the prettiest pass I've ever seen in my life. He threw that ball 200 yards?
Yeah.
Conservatively?
I have to go back and look, but
okay, 180.
Yeah.
And then on the final drive, he goes like 7 for 7. Like he's so goddamn good.
The pass that was crazy to me was when he dropped back. He had pressure in his face, dropped back a little bit further, is on his back foot getting hit, and he threw it. He's like throwing the ball away.
Post.
Yeah.
Right. And
it was the one where he's like throwing the ball away to the sideline.
Okay. Yeah.
And the dude just swoops over and catches it. There's nothing he can't do on a football field. I don't know. The Browns are better, but the Texans are at home, and again, I do think there's something to a team being too stupid to realize you're not supposed to win. I don't know why I keep saying that, but like
now
I do think like these narratives start to set in with football teams, and C.J. Stroud and the Texans were not supposed to be here. They were not supposed to keep winning, and they were just like, fuck it. What if we do? I don't think the Texans are going to go on a run here, but they can win one game.
The Dolphins at the Chiefs. Now, ironically, and I think it's loser talk. It was loser talk to say it last night. Maybe today it's not loser talk. But if they won last night, they would have hosted the Bills next week. And the chances of beating the Bills 2 times in a row at home, I didn't like. I do feel like the Chiefs are a better matchup for the Dolphins, even though it's on the road.
Yeah.
I think this has potential to be a hell of a game.
I think so.
The Chiefs and the Dolphins.
I unfortunately won't be watching it because it's on Peacock, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, no, hold on now. Hold on. I don't mean to be a network shill or anything, but Peacock is good.
Okay. That's great.
I have Peacock. It has the WWE Network embedded in it.
Okay.
It has Scrubs.
Okay.
It has Cheers.
Yeah.
Might not have Cheers anymore. It has The Office. It has Parks and Rec.
Why would it not have Cheers anymore?
I don't know.
Is Cheers not an NBC show?
You know how these things work. These things are weird.
I don't know how these things work.
I think Lost is on Peacock.
How can an NBC show not be on the NBC streaming platform?
Because NBC shows are not always NBC shows. Sometimes they're ABC shows on the NBC network. They don't make sense. But there are shows on Peacock that aired on other channels. I think
Does Peacock have live sports?
Peacock does have live sports.
Whoa.
It does.
I just realized that.
Hulu does too, but Peacock has the Premier League and shit, right?
Yeah.
Why
doesn't Peacock promote that they have live sports more?
I don't. All right, let's just go around the room. Do you have Who has Peacock? I have Peacock. Me and Connor. Okay. Who has Hulu?
I think I actually do have Peacock, but I don't pay for it.
I have Hulu.
I have
I have
the
Hulu.
Disney bundle.
All right. Who has Prime?
I have
We all have
I
Prime.
have Prime. Yeah.
Who has Max? I also have.
You're not writing anything, by the way.
Who has?
I can't help but notice that.
I spend way too much money for TV.
Yeah. I've asked the room this before, and I've never really
I have
gotten
them
a clear
all.
answer. Are there any streaming services where you've put your foot down and said,
Paramount.
I'm not doing
Paramount is the one where I'm like, no,
I'm not doing Tubi.
no, I'm not doing Paramount Plus or.
Is Tubi one?
I don't know if it's actually. I don't know if it's.
I think
still around.
Tubi's like an alternate one, like a different one, right?
It was one, yeah.
What is that?
No, I think it's.
A different
It's one that comes like prepackaged in your TV, right?
Yeah,
Like they just give it
I
to you.
think
It's
they
like
sneak
the
in.
U2
They
album.
sneak in. Yeah,
I thought that was Freevee.
Freevie's one of them.
No, that's
too.
Amazon.
What was
What?
the
Freevee is part of Amazon.
Okay.
Coach Prime? Why y'all ain't tell me about Our Kind of People on Tubi? The show is good. Morris Chestnut is my dog.
Seems like an ad.
Great actors, great storylines, and well shot.
Wait, this was a day
Then he
ago.
put in quotes, I love it.
I love it.
Why did he put that in
Well, it
quotes?
can't be an ad because doesn't he have a show on Amazon?
I don't know. This just felt like a very ad tweet. Why y'all ain't tell me about Tubi? Because Tubi.
Huh.
Why did he put that in quotes?
I love it.
The difference between the NFL and the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes has fewer cutaways of Taylor Swift. This guy was on fucking fire last night.
Was that the joke that did cut to Taylor Swift?
Yes.
She
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, not a funny joke.
Taylor Swift, not a funny person.
Quite the reaction from her.
Taylor Swift. Not a fun hang. Not someone that I would want to hang out with, we'll say.
Also, which one of Taylor Swift? This is a good topic. Yesterday, the Chiefs played their final game, right?
Yeah.
And then she had the Golden Globes, right? She was nominated for some things at the Golden Globes. So one of them was being a selfish partner. One of them decided to. Should Kelsey have missed his last game to the Golden Globe?
He didn't play anyway.
Yeah, he sat out.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't even play.
Was Taylor Swift nominated for a Golden Globe?
I
Yes.
think her. Yes, she was.
Was it for a documentary?
Her
The-
tour movie, which
Yeah.
made like $1 billion,
It was up for like box office achievement or something.
which is
like
a new
that.
award.
Mm.
Barbie won.
Is it just like you make the most money?
I think so.
It was just box office.
It's a money spread competition.
Yeah, it was a band for band.
I haven't cared about the Golden Globes since Sofia Vergara stopped going. Everyone made the same Golden Globes jokes. They take a picture of her on the red carpet and be like, "Golden Globes, am I right?" That was the heyday of the Golden Globes for me.
The only thing the Golden Globes ever did for me was give us Ricky Gervais his monologues where he just eviscerated everybody.
That's the Golden Globes.
Yeah, that's what he would.
That's been that
They went from that to
this guy.
Yes.
Which
Holy shit, dude.
Gervais did win Best Stand-Up Special last night, but he did not go to the event.
Which
Because he was calling out Epstein in that monologue.
He called out everything.
He called out everybody. Yeah.
who did?
No, it was Weinstein, wasn't it?
Gervais.
Who?
Yeah, one. Yeah.
Was it Weinstein?
Yeah.
Oh shit, you're right.
Gervais
Weinstein.
did in his
Gervais was
stand-up.
saying like, I know you guys are all friends with Harvey Weinstein and all, but who cares? Like,
and he won a Golden Globe for that.
No.
Jesus Christ, I cannot follow any of what's going on right
No.
now. Okay.
Two different things.
Ricky
he used to host the
Right.
He used to host it. Now, separate from that, he was nominated for Best Stand-Up Special last night, and he won.
Okay.
Okay.
And he when did he call out Epstein and Weinstein?
When he hosted years ago.
Years ago.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
That is none of that is in his stand-up routine.
Okay. All right. Now, did the guy last night call out Epstein?
No.
Okay.
I don't think he called out anybody.
Jim Gaffigan did though.
Yeah, Jim Gaffigan had a funny one where he was like, I can't. It's hard to believe I'm in show business. I'm from a small town in Indiana, and I'm not a pedophile.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good joke.
I'm also from a small town in Indiana.
But you
I'm
are a
also-
pedophile.
No, I'm no.
Wait,
No.
You did spend a lot of time in L.A.
Did you or did you not live in L.A.?
I did. But Jim Gaffigan did too. So
I don't know that. He might have rented.
You kind of look like Jim Gaffigan. Is that a doppelganger you get a lot of?
I've never gotten Jim Gaffigan.
What's the number one doppelganger?
Nick Swartzen.
The eagle from Muppets.
I have never heard that one in my life.
That's my favorite.
I got to see the eagle from Muppets.
Need a side by side.
What are you talking about for Brandon?
Yeah.
What?
Looks like the eagle, Sam the Eagle from Muppets.
Oh yeah, dude, you look just like him.
That's so funny.
That's so Brandon. That is so Brandon. Oh my god.
Distinguished. He is kind of like floaty hair.
Oh my god, dude, that's
a
so
tough
you.
angle for the eagle from Muppets. But
Dude, that looks exactly like you.
How does that look anything like me?
That looks.
The eagle.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Mark,
That looks exactly like you.
buckle up, Mark. You ready? Strap in. Cars.com is a leading digital marketplace that connects car shoppers with their perfect car. I would like to speak on behalf of the show. Round of applause. Welcome back, Cars.com. Celebrating 25 years of helping shoppers research, find inventory, finance, and sell cars. Wherever life takes you next and whoever you're looking to be, there's a car for that on Cars.com. Up to 50,000 cars are added daily to Cars.com. Shop over 2 million cars for 2 million possibilities. Find your next possibility on Cars.com. Where to next?
That was nice.
Thank you
Felt
very
good.
much.
Felt,
It did. It felt right.
Took me back to
Belmont.
the good old days. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Where we just had a gray ass. Well, actually,
You can just stop there. Yeah, gray ass.
We had a great ass studio, which we definitely don't have now.
why? Why is the studio like this?
Well,
We've done some homey touches, but it's a wire cage in front of a gray wall.
Mm-hmm.
Adding color to Barstool has been a problem for a while. So I don't know if you noticed. This is a company that is very good at that.
We have struggled with that.
Yeah, that's been a
Now
problem.
that you mention it, Ben Mintz walked in here and hated this.
What other playoff games? Steelers Bills. That's going to be a stinker. Now TJ Watt's done, right? He's tore his MCL. Is that what he tore?
One of his CLs,
He tore his.
a grade 2 strain, I believe it was.
Speaking of MCL, pull up the cafeteria menu. Let's go through and tier the MCL caf. Every time we talk about MCLs, I want to talk about MCL cafeteria.
What is MCL cafeteria? What are you talking about?
Oh, dude.
Dude, we talked about this.
Did we?
Are you?
Have we talked about this?
Yep.
Oh my god, dude.
Many
I
times.
need a timeout.
No. Don't take a timeout. Don't take a timeout. I just it didn't recall very quickly. I do want to go through this menu.
I think the closest one is 3 hours away.
Okay, now I remember it because I compared it to Morrison's back in my place.
Yeah.
Half price pie. Let's just.
In honor of TJ Watt, instead of watching, when's that game?
What's roast beef Manhattan?
Sunday at 1 p.m. On Sunday at 1 p.m. when the Steelers play the Bills, instead of watching the game, because I expect the Bills to beat the snot out of them, I might go to MCL cafeteria and eat and have lunch.
I would go
Instead
to
of-
MCL cafeteria.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no chance this is a good game now.
No. I just don't think the Bills are scoring now. They didn't really score that much last night, but I don't think they can keep up with them. I think the Bills can score 3 or 4 touchdowns. I don't think the Steelers can.
But now that you look at the AFC,
But if you're looking at it, okay, I'm just going to say them out. Browns at Texans, Dolphins at Chiefs, Steelers at Bills, Packers at Cowboys, Rams at Lions, Eagles at Bucks. I think Dolphins, Chiefs, Packers, Cowboys, Rams, Lions are all fabulous.
Dolphins, Chiefs, Packers, Cowboys, Rams, Lions. Fabulous.
I think those are all great. Eagles, Bucks is okay, and Steelers, Bills, Browns, Texans could be sneaky.
I think Steelers Bills is the only bad game. It's the only one that I'm looking at. Like I'm not really particularly excited to watch that. Like Browns, Texans, neither one of those teams is probably winning the Super Bowl, but it could be a close game. I expect it to be a close, fun football game.
So what's the
Eagles Bucks is fascinating because we haven't even gotten to the Eagles part of the show. and talk to Connor about this, but the Bucks were supposed to be dog shit this year.
Mm-hmm.
They still might be, but they won the division. They won the worst division of football, and they're in now. If they beat the Eagles,
that would be hilarious.
When the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl 5 weeks ago,
when they were 10-1,
when they were 10-1,
and we told Connor, "Hey,
they're not winning.
You're
the
not
Super
really
Bowl.
that good." That's what we said, and you said, "We're winning. We're winning. Winning. That's what you said.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't
that be something? So I'm going to be locked in on that game, and I think it will be a good game because the Eagles kind of fucking suck.
Connor, let's talk. Just me.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk.
Don't worry about anybody else.
Okay.
I floated the idea a few weeks ago that I thought A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts hated each other. And you can do this. You can throw your hands up and everything. I think that team hates Jalen Hurts.
You said this maybe 7 times.
Okay? Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Everything about it looks like everybody on that team hates each other.
You're going to see a complete overhaul of the coaching staff in the offseason. And that will –
Underneath Sirianni?
There's a chance Sirianni's out.
No chance. No.
Okay.
After going to a Super Bowl and then going to the playoffs? He's going to be out?
Listen, we fired Doug Peterson, 2 years after?
That is true.
We went to a Super Bowl?
That's what they do.
Won a Super Bowl?
If you don't win a Super Bowl, get the fuck out of here.
No, I seriously think the team has just quit on this coaching staff. Desai is going to be gone at defensive coordinator. Brian Johnson's going to be gone at offensive coordinator. Matt Patricia's probably going to be out too. There's going to be a massive overhaul because the team has just quit. It's awful to watch. And I said I would not be shocked, and I do think that the Bucs are going to beat us this week.
Do you think there's going to be a massive overhaul of players? Because bringing back the same players or the same core underneath a different coaching staff
I have an idea. What about a massive overhaul of the fan base? What about
elaborate on that?
Because Philly, this is becoming a consistent theme that Philly has good teams, and then the fans boo.
Yeah.
They swear that it's going to help. They do not win a championship.
Didn't y'all boo them when they were 10-1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're booing the Phillies when they had the audacity to not win the World Series. It's becoming a problem. And the one consistent thing from franchise to franchise is the people of Philadelphia. Nick Sirianni has nothing to do with the Phillies not winning the World Series or the Sixers choking in the playoffs. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking the one consistent thing is the Philly fans. What about a hard reset of Philly fans? What if Philly fans just look internally and clean house internally?
Let me add on to that for you before we clean them out. I would argue, because Connor said back in October that no city loves their teams like Philadelphia.
Yeah.
That they love them the most.
It's unique to Philadelphia.
That they love their teams.
They love the teams.
I would argue maybe since they were 10-1 they fell apart, the fans didn't love them hard enough, didn't love them enough. So I think the love is – so do we
Great
have
theory.
to gut the Philadelphia fan base?
Great theory. It's not that I disagree, just playing devil's advocate. What if they just didn't boo him enough? What if – because Connor has also said that booing works.
Right. So loving and hating them is the strategy.
I think the Eagles' problem is that the fans aren't booing loud enough. They should boo even louder, and
Connor,
then they'll get right back on track because booing always works.
Your thoughts on his theory that Philadelphia fans were not big enough assholes?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, whether it's cheering or booing, it's passion. And there is not a fan base
now
in the country more passionate.
I have another theory. I'm just full
You're going to
theories.
throw a
We
theory
care
without acknowledging
a
how
lot.
stupid that was?
We care a lot, and
Okay.
that's why
Buddy,
we're all
if we
devastated
today.
stop
And break down everything.
You're right.
What about this theory? And we can entertain it for as long as you want on the show. What if this iteration of the Philadelphia Eagles, as it turns out, were never really that good? They just benefited from Brock Purdy's arm falling off. And
Dak
what we're
Prescott stepping
seeing,
out of
they
bounds.
are a good football team. Don't get me wrong, good football team. They are not an elite Super Bowl. We should not expect them to win the Super Bowl. And they benefited from a little luck last year, which I don't mean to say doesn't count. It counts, but it blew the it set the expectations too high for this season. And ultimately, the season that the Eagles ended up having is kind of representative of what this team is. And there really should not be any panic whatsoever because at the end of the day, this was never actually a Super Bowl contending football
You
team.
keep talking about the team as if they had control, and you're not
That's
talking
true.
about the fans.
That's true.
I don't know what you're doing. Yes, Connor.
I want to build on that. I disagree, but at the same time, you're right that there might have been a
Wait.
massive misperception about what this team actually is.
Did you just say the sentence, I disagree,
But you're right.
but at the same time you're right?
No, because
That's what you said. It came out of your face.
he's saying there's a misperception about the team because of Brock Purdy's arm falling off. I'm saying there's a misperception about the team because we benefited from having 2 head coaches at coordinator last year. We had a great schedule that was totally in our favor. We had not a rookie quarterback. We had a quarterback on a rookie deal, and we were able to go and get all these extra pieces. Now we paid him a shit ton of money. We no longer have those 2 offensive and defensive coordinators because they went to be head coaches elsewhere. And I think you're seeing that, yeah, there was a little bit of a facade. That's what we're seeing. And for the record, I don't want to fire Nick Sirianni, but there are a bunch of people who do because they're seeing, yeah, maybe we were misled this entire time.
Okay,
That might happen.
let's do a little housekeeping here.
I would love to.
The Eagles play on Monday night,
Correct.
which means we'll have a show Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the Eagles win. Are you showing up that Tuesday believing the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl again because they've won a playoff game?
I mean, it depends on
That's a yes.
how we win, but I did tell you I only see 2 scenarios. This is my prediction. Either we get knocked out on Monday in horrific fashion, or this team catches magic and we wind up going – because
There's a third scenario that's way
there's- no,
more
no.
likely.
The third scenario is you beat the Buccaneers because the Buccaneers aren't really that great.
But we're not that great.
And
We
the
lost to
Niners
the
kill
Cardinals.
you.
We lost to the
And
Giants.
then you lose by 1,000 in your second game. That's a scenario.
Much more likely than either of those other 2.
I don't think so. I think the way that we're playing right now, we're so dog shit. Any team in the playoffs would beat us.
I like Connor. I'm a big Connor guy. His sadness
But how can
gives me life.
how can
I'm so down bad.
if your team is so dog shit and you've been playing horrendous football for so long now, how can one win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers be enough to get you to believe that now we're fully back and we are going to win the Super Bowl? That's the issue that we have, I think. Is that how can you come back and say, instead of just the rational response, which is like, we're dog shit, but hey, that was nice. You know, if we got a big one coming up, maybe if we win that, I'll start believing.
There's just it's because there's too much talent on the team. And again, even though I think we were misled and maybe we aren't really a Super Bowl level elite team in the league, maybe we still could be that. So
If you lose to the Niners last year in the playoffs, let's go through this hypothetical. You lose to
Yes.
the Niners last year in the playoffs.
Which you probably would have.
You would have.
I don't think so.
Well, of course you don't.
Okay, that's the hypothetical though. The Niners don't have any injuries.
Mm-hmm.
They beat you. Still a good season. Would you go 14-3 last year? Great season. You
Yeah.
won the division. You lose to the Niners in the playoffs. Whatever. You don't make the Super Bowl. You came pretty close. Then this year you go 11-6, win the wild card round, and lose in the divisional round. That's not what my point of view is. Like, yeah, that's a little under expectations.
It's a
I'm
solid
not saying-
football team.
but it's like that's not panic fire everybody. What the fuck? This organization's an embarrassment type season is what I'm saying. But because you went to the Super Bowl last year, you all have been drinking the Kool-Aid, and because you were close to winning it, you all have been drinking the Kool-Aid that like this year we're going to go 17-0, and then we are the best team in the NFL, and I just don't think that's ever been the case.
Well, in fairness, when you start off 10-1, beating the Chiefs, beating the Bills, beating the Dolphins, I think there is fair reason to believe that you are at the top of the league. After making it to the Super Bowl, a game that you led by 10 points at halftime over Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in that dynasty. So
Yeah.
I don't want to call him a dynasty, but you get my point. A team that has, for the most part, been at the top of the National Football League for the past 5 years. So I don't think it was crazy to say, hey, we're running it back, and now we're 10-1, and we're on fire. Yes, we weren't winning dominantly, and to this day, we did not have a single game this year where we won by more than 14 points.
The last time you won by more than one possession was October.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we were still, again, winning games, and then the tires completely fell off. But the fact that you guys say, oh, well, we saw this coming, we warned you. No, you didn't. You saw us maybe losing, but not in this fashion. This is
all
a
regression to me.
This
Yeah,
is a
I will give
collapse
that. I
in the
didn't
biggest
see,
proportions
I didn't
possible.
see you losing this many games in a row, but when you were 10-1, I never for 1 second this season thought the Eagles were the best team in the NFL. I thought the Eagles were good.
And that I
thought the
respect
Eagles
that.
were good. There was never a point where I was like, the Eagles should be the Super Bowl favorites. The favorites. Maybe they could be a favorite, one of many favorites.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about
But they're not the favorite.
is we talk about certain teams like the Dolphins lost last night. They fell from the 2 seed to the 6 seed. They're still in the playoffs. The Eagles have collapsed. They're still in the playoffs. Yet there's a franchise, the Jags should be the most talked about story in the sport, but because they're the Jags, they're not in Philadelphia or they're not a marquee. Like we just let it happen. Okay, well that's the Jags. If you're a Jags fan, this was a massive collapse.
Yeah.
This was a much bigger story than within the context of football. What are you doing? What are you making that?
Wow.
What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, it's
That's
comparing
the worst.
both wrongs. Like
it's
both.
not even
The Eagles are
close.
in. The Eagles are in.
It's not even close.
The Jags aren't in.
The Jags were 8-3. They were like minus 12,000 to make the playoffs, and they fell apart and they didn't even make the playoffs. The
They
Eagles
lost to a 5-11 team.
The Eagles are not. The Eagles are in. The Eagles can, and not only in, they can win a game. They have a very winnable game. Are they? I think they're
They're
favored.
favored. They are favored.
Which is
Right.
crazy, I think. But
No, it's not.
It's not.
The Bucs suck. What did the Bucs win 9-0 yesterday against the Panthers? Okay.
Do you think that the Eagles fans got a little bit of young core syndrome?
Oh, it's a great question.
As someone who has suffered from young core syndrome in the past, as a Panthers fan and now an Orioles fan, I think I'm ready to diagnose young core syndrome.
Aren't
That's a great disease, by the way.
young core?
I love young core syndrome. I love that you just coined that, Ebo. I think so.
Portnoy won't stop texting me. He's in my head. He just won't stop texting me about Michigan. He won't stop texting me about Michigan. I'm getting rid of my phone. There, phone's in the case. He won't stop texting me.
I'm blaming you. When Michigan wins tonight, I'm blaming you.
Why would you blame me?
Because
I fought the good fight.
You've given them power. You realize the power that you're getting. Every time you text Dave, he then does a selfie video rant where he calls you out. Then they send that to the Michigan football locker room. The guys rally the troops. Jim Harbaugh has somehow, I will give him credit for this. I do think he's a goober. I think at no point has he ever been cool. And the fact that anybody's trying to argue that he is cool is insane. But he has somehow convinced everybody. God.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I picked it up. You're right. You're exactly right. You're right to have that.
He somehow convincing everybody that it's that Michigan is America's team, and also it is Michigan versus everybody.
He's convinced nobody of that, right? Nobody's convinced of that. He just keeps saying it.
Yeah, but the fact that the logic never, no Michigan person has stopped and been like, that makes no goddamn sense. How it can be Michigan versus everybody while at the same time being Michigan is America's team. Those are contradictory.
If Michigan's America's team, I'm moving to Iran.
If Michigan is America's team, then it's not Michigan versus everybody. It's everybody plus Michigan. Everybody wants Michigan. But somehow, in their minds, it's both.
This is the funniest college football season for any team ever, right? They started the season in a
Yes.
10-man straight line formation,
Yeah.
holding up, fours for Jim Harbaugh?
Got off the butt like he died.
Yeah.
free Jim, yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird season.
The arc is crazy.
Yeah.
Why are you rattled? That's what I don't understand.
I don't know.
How do you get?
I get rattled easily though.
But why this? Why? I don't. That's what I don't.
I don't know.
You're in too deep, man.
I'm trying to keep all the blood.
Is it because when Michigan wins tonight, you won't be able to bring up that
I'm fine with that. I'm happy.
that Jim Harbaugh had two different cheating scandals.
Yeah.
When you look back on the 2023 season, and someone's like, "What do you remember about the Jim Harbaugh cheating scandal?" You're going to have to say which one, but you're going to be in a position where you can't talk about it ever again, and never. That does suck, dude. We'll never be able to talk about it on the show again because you won't be able to bring it up. How would we? I wonder how we would talk about it.
I don't know. I mean,
If you're not able to bring it up, that means we'll never be able to.
we probably need like a second mic.
Yeah, we would need someone else on the show who didn't take the blood oath to be able to bring it up.
Yeah, that'd be. Of course.
Huh.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I don't know if anybody has a desire to do that.
You're in too deep. You're not seeing
Trying
the.
to keep all the blood in my head instead of going under. What are you doing? Let's do silly stuff. All right, I've got. The sheet says set up the NFL weekend: Bills, Dolphins, Steelers, Ravens. That might be an old sheet. What that might be.
You are. This is a sight to behold. This is like watching.
I spent my whole Saturday buying furniture, and I was buying furniture, and I was at Steinhoffel's, and I was at Ashley in Kenosha, and I was haggling with the guy. I wanted free delivery, and he wasn't giving it to me, and it wasn't. And I was haggling. We were going back and forth, and he kept asking me where I worked. I didn't want to tell him. I didn't want to tell him at all. I just wanted to get free stuff, and then. Right as I'm about to sign the paper, this guy comes up. Brandon Walker! Hey, man! Welcome to the area! I love your shows! And I had to do the whole fucking thing with him, and then I ended up paying for delivery because I didn't want to be the guy who... And it just throw my whole weekend off.
Brandon, is it that hard being famous?
Damn, dude.
Not famous. I'm not famous.
So the story...
You're approachable.
So the story was I got recognized in public. What a humble brag. He's like, guys, I'm sorry. I know it's Monday morning. It is January in Chicago. You
all see this guy with a tiny penis?
It's I'm a little bit down.
Button
and I'm
penis.
trying to figure out some of the reasons why I might be down. Is it the gray skies? Is it that it's cold? Is it that the sun... We get 1 hour of sun this time of year in Chicago.
Where is the sun?
I think it's because someone recognized me at a furniture store. As I look back on it, I think that's probably what it was. Is that I'm getting too famous.
Did y'all see button penis?
Yeah,
So
Yeah, leave that guy alone.
I think so.
you know what, Ebo? I would sometimes agree with you. He got naked and jumped into the fish pool at a Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, but I'm with Ebo. Why don't you try empathy?
We're letting Button Dick off the hook?
I am, because I'm gonna try some empathy. I'm gonna try that.
Why don't you try jumping in the Bass Pro Shop pond? See how you
Yeah.
Oh, it would
let's see you.
Oh, it'd be Button City.
Let's see your penis, mister. Hey, mister.
So we can spend an hour breaking down why these NFL players and coaches or whatever are trash. The second we get to Button Dick at Bass Pro Shops, that's where we need to step up and be human.
No, I had the same reaction everyone else did. The first time I saw the video, I was like, where
Right.
where is it? But also, we're piling on at this point. I don't know. The guy has enough problems that he's getting butt ass naked, jumping in the. I don't know.
Would like to point out 100% of his problems were self-done, self-made.
If you're online calling him saying he's got a small penis,
We don't know.
you better show yours, because I mean, like, if yours is so big, then
Nobody can call a small penis unless they have a huge penis.
yeah,
Well, I guess we'll never talk penises again.
yeah.
We don't know that his problems are self-made because this happened in Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Then how do we
Everything
know that
happens
this
in
isn't?
Alabama
How do we
now.
know that this isn't the fault of
Alabama's in
Crimson
New
Tide?
Florida.
How do we know that this isn't a response to he's not having a psychotic breakdown because Alabama had a 7-point lead with the ball with 4
I know
minutes left?
I know that you're joking, but that is so very possible.
Yeah.
That when Alabama finally loses its grip on college football, shit just goes crazy.
No jury in the state will convict him if he
No, they
if his
really
defense is like, yeah, I was thinking about how our center couldn't just simply snap a football and shotgun. That guy transferred to Ohio State, by the way. Did you see
Did he?
that? Yeah.
Was he in the envelope?
He was not. No.
Oh.
But
You guys just hosted the running back from Ole Miss too.
is he good?
They're very good.
I don't like that. The Bama center had a really shitty game against Michigan in the playoff, and then immediately committed to Ohio State, like 3 days later. I do not like that. I'm assuming we're not going to play him at center, but we'll see.
Yeah. What?
I'm hoping.
What are you doing?
Same thing that Ebo does sometimes. I was just checking to see the audio on this one clip that we're about to post.
Okay.
Yeah, he's doing his job, Brandon. You should try it.
I can't.
Try- you should
I
try
can't do
doing
his
the same.
job.
Actually, Dave Portnoy sent me a video of him trash talking me, so I got rattled and had to look at it during the show.
You would if it happened.
No, I wouldn't.
You would not get rattled at all.
No, I wouldn't look at a video sent to me
Oh.
during the show. If
Well,
it
he
wasn't
didn't send me a
related to the
video.
show.
He just sent me a
No, I
text.
know it was a joke.
What was the text? I saw you brought it up, TJ.
Oh, that's like 3 hours ago, or 2 hours ago. He's continually sending them now.
6 earlier, most likely never come close to experiencing because Miss State is a poverty program. No offense. Factoring this text is probably the closest you'll ever come to it. It actually makes me cherish and appreciate tonight more, knowing there are no hope, no future, no chance to lose. Yeah. It actually makes me cherish and appreciate tonight more, knowing there are no hope, no future, no chance losers like you that exist. But trust me, the feeling is indescribable. Go blue. Huh. I mean, like, honestly, I don't see where he was wrong. I think that's the issue I have.
Really,
with it
Titus?
is-
Really, really? That just one time? Can I get a teammate? One time at this fucking.
Let's talk college basketball.
No, hold on. We can talk college basketball. Yeah, go ahead, because we can do kid get stuck in a jar later.
Houston's the only undefeated team left. JMU is out. How do you feel, Ebo?
I'll be back for conference tournament season.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
JMU is actually in serious jeopardy of missing the NCAA.
Okay, I was going to ask that.
They're going to win the Sun Belt tournament, surely.
Yeah, there's no way they lose
Surely,
Sun
there's
Belt
no way
tournament,
they
right?
lose the Sun Belt tournament.
I was going to ask that. Is JMU is one of those teams where they have to be perfect to even make the tournament? Like, you can't.
I think you could get through with one loss and be like the 11 play-in.
I think they could lose one more, just because if they end up like 29 and if they lose one more regular season, and then they would obviously not have to win the Sun Belt to where it'd be a conversation. So they lose 3 games, and they are what, like 29-3 at that point, or 30-3 or something. That just looks so sexy on a resume page that I think they could argue their way in. But yeah, they're flirting with disaster.
Yeah.
They are. They're still a good basketball team. They're just not.
What was the other big stories from college basketball this weekend?
Ole Miss lost.
Ole Miss got their
Yeah,
ass.
but they were always. I'm not saying they're fake, but that was a tough. They didn't really play a tough schedule. Tennessee played the toughest schedule in the country. Tennessee was a powder keg. Tennessee.
Carolina and Kentucky went on the road and got big wins at Clemson and Florida. They were tight games, and then Carolina pulled away a little late. And Kentucky and Carolina are both very good. I think they're both national title good. Kansas stole one from TCU a little bit.
Yeah.
Refs got involved. Became a ref show a little bit.
Purdue
looks really fucking good.
Basketball wise, it's time to start. We need to go to an Indiana high school basketball game like in the next week or two.
Okay.
Like soon.
Yeah.
We need to go.
Yeah.
Not just say we're gonna go. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, you let me know. I will gladly do it.
We're gonna go. We'll go.
I will gladly do it. Trying to think of we got to figure out where in Northwest Indiana we'll go, because I don't necessarily want to drive. I would love to go back down to Indy.
No, let's just
But
go to Northwest Indiana. There's got to be somewhere in Northwest Indiana, right?
There's somewhere in Northwest Indiana.
There's
Correct.
somewhere. There's somewhere there.
Yeah. People send me recommendations all the time, but they're always like a day before. There's always like big game happening in LaPorte tomorrow. You guys should go to this, and I'm like,
send us a big game in the northwest corner of Indiana. Right?
Yeah. What's the timeline? Like next weekend?
I'll tell you what, Mark, and I know you're an Indiana guy, and this is the whole point, to go to an Indiana basketball game. But what if we went to one in Illinois instead?
I would go to some in Illinois. I would love to go to Chicago high school games.
Let's go like to what's that big suburb? Aurora, and then the other one. Naperville. Let's go to a game in Naperville, and we'll cross that off as going to a game in Indiana.
Go to Naperville. We go to a game in Naperville, and we can say we went to a Chicago high school basketball game.
Yeah, because I think you would agree. I mean, Indiana, Illinois, really no different. They're right side by side. So an Illinois basketball game, Illinois high school basketball is the same as Indiana high school.
Yeah, you're trying to troll me, but I respect Illinois high school basketball too much, because I do think Illinois high school basketball is very, very good, and I would like to go to games. So
we'll go to Wisconsin.
Back at you, like it's not. The problem is we're looking at Lake Central. Lake Central's ranked is 12-0. I think that's up this way. Cathedral, Fishers, Lawrence North, Westfield, Noblesville. This is the ranking I'm looking at. It's all Indy schools. It's all Indy area that are good this year. Kokomo is good. They got the 5-star kid.
That's the guy you've been telling me about all
I'm
year.
telling you about, but again, Kokomo is not as close of a drive as I want it to be. Lake Central, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out something. Yeah, college basketball is good. This was the first
big.
full, like the whole country's playing conference games. Like all these power conferences have been doing the early type thing where you pepper in a game or two in December.
That first Saturday where it starts at 11 a.m. Central and just goes and goes and goes, and the TV never changes off. Now we're playing some college basketball.
So we did, conference play has kind of already started, but this was the first like in earnest weekend where everybody's playing conference play. And we get some crazy results. It wasn't super crazy this weekend.
Not yet. It will.
But, college basketball is sort of wide open. Everybody's saying it's wide open, and the reason we're saying it's wide open is because the one behemoth power that's sitting at the top that's unbeatable, even though they've already lost a game, is Purdue. Yeah. And when that's the scenario you find – and Houston, by the way, is undefeated. They're the last undefeated team. They're very fucking good, but I think – we're going to find out more about them as Big 12 play gets underway. But it is funny to hear everybody say, like, there's –
oh, fuck. Yeah, Houston's in the Big 12.
Yeah.
it's still new.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, Houston – in my mind, when you said Houston's undefeated, I was like, yeah, they play in that shitty conference.
No, yeah. They
But they don't.
Houston did not play a cupcake non-conference schedule, but they don't have – Houston doesn't have, like, the marquee big swinging win where they're like, we are those dudes, and they'll get that in the Big 12 because the Big 12 is loaded. So if they continue to if they beat Kansas, and BYU's pretty good, and
are they?
Yeah, they just lost to Cincinnati though. Anyway, so that's the college basketball report. Is that everyone's saying it's wide open and there's no great team, and the reason they're saying that is because the great team is Purdue, and when the great team is Purdue, you're like, I mean, come on, come on,
right? That's the most beatable great team there could ever be.
Yeah, but they're actually kind of not beatable this year, even though they've already lost. They are the Niners. They are the.
Are you ready?
They're the undefeated San Francisco 49ers with one loss. Go ahead.
How'd this kid get in the vase?
I don't know how the kid got in the vase.
How'd the kid get in the vase? Why was he in the vase? Are there other kids in vases?
Well, let's watch this.
I don't know how he got in the vase.
Was this a viral story, or did this just happen upon one of your Twitters? Because I didn't see this.
Was this also in Birmingham, Alabama? Where is his body? That's not big enough for his whole body to be in there.
Yeah, how big of an ass does this guy have that he can't?
Where is
his?
What's
his knees were hitting? Is that what she said?
I'm sorry. Can we watch it again? I just like to see the way he's acting. He's got himself in a situation.
He's so mad.
I'm doing everything I fucking can.
Damn it.
He got himself stuck in a vase, and he's mad at everybody else. Hey,
I just like from this angle.
Where is he?
Freeze it right there.
Right.
Freeze it. Hit the hole looks way bigger than his torso. Like this feels like an easy glide
I don't think
out.
it does look like
Mark,
bigger
his
than
knees were hitting. His knees were hitting.
Move your knees. This is why we got to teach hip mobility to people. You got to be able to.
Yeah.
You got to be able to get out of this.
Got to get
like
those flexors going.
I don't understand. To me, it looks like you should be able to just slide right out. I don't know.
This was in Mountain Brook, Alabama, I believe.
Okay.
Birmingham. Yeah.
His name being Connor also ruined me.
Is he out? No, he's not. Okay.
Oh, God damn it.
I'm stuck.
You're not going to be able to get out.
You're going to be there the rest of the night. Y'all going to have to find a fucking out.
We'll get you out. We are not breaking the pot.
I don't give a damn who you
No,
are.
we're gonna get you
out.
You're sleeping in the pot.
She should stand up. Stand up. So what?
They chiseled him out.
Imagine being this guy, man.
You don't know. You don't know if they dared him to do it though.
I think
That's the thing.
I think I'd rather be button dick guy.
If
No.
if you're at a party and your boys dare you to do it, you're kind of stuck. Literally. You have to do it. If they're like,
All right, you got to pick one right now because I'm totally bringing in a vase, and one of them's going in the fucking vase.
Would you rather be the button dick Bass Pro Shops guy or stuck in an urn?
Forever?
Stuck in an urn for 3 hours in front of 500 people.
When you start freaking out like that, that would suck. Once the freak out start?
But he did not handle that in a good manner. Like, you can make that funny. Button dick guy, you're button dick guy for the rest of your life. And, like, people are never going to forget that.
Button dick guy, though, has much bigger problems in his life.
Exactly.
I mean, if we're being honest. Like,
Yeah.
like
I take the urn.
button dick guy, it's not like after this moment he's going to try to put his life – like, he's got some serious issues. This guy just seems like a normal-ass dude who was – I assume – I need to know the backstory. I assume he's just talking to one of the other guys at the party, and they pointed out he's like, damn, that's a big vase. He's like, that's not a big vase.
No, it's not that big.
That's just like a normal size. You're like, what? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? That's a huge. That's like one of the biggest vases I've ever seen. You're like, it's not that big. And you're like, I could probably fit in that fucking thing. It's so big. You could not fit in that vase. It's like, well, now I have to get in that vase. which is a defensible position, I think.
Just stand up. I'm doing every fucking thing
Yeah.
I can, god damn it.
If he was just drunk and he was like, hey, everybody, watch this,
Yeah.
and jumped in, then I don't feel bad for him. But if he was in an argument and he's like, my hands are tied, I have to get in this vase to prove to everybody that I'm not an idiot.
But I think the guy who's gotten himself into a situation where he needs help from 10 to 30 other people and then him yelling at those people is hilarious.
Yeah, it is funny.
Guys, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Somebody get me out of this.
Again, maybe in his defense, like, he's obviously stuck in a vase that he can't get out, and everyone's just like, have you tried standing up? I would sort of lose my mind too if I was him. I was like, get a fucking hammer and get me out of this thing. And everyone's just kind of crossing their arms, sipping their beer, like, I don't know, man.
Stand up.
Just try getting out.
It is because
That
you
would be
get
awful.
cycles of people showing up and like
Yes,
you're,
that's the thing.
you're like an hour into this thing. Here comes somebody else from the bar. Can you get your knees out?
Are you stuck? He's like, yes, I'm fucking stuck. I've been stuck for
Let's see. What else we got?
What else? The door flew off the plane.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That was a story.
And then they have like this guy was just walking down the road in Vancouver and just found a phone from the plane. They got sucked out.
Okay.
Now, are you woke to this being manufactured, or do you think this is actually a phone that fell 16,000 feet?
And the manufactured would be that this is like an iPhone commercial, an iPhone ad somehow. Like who benefits from this?
This guy
Apple?
goes viral.
Case company.
This guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the case.
Phone case company goes
Yeah.
big off that, if that's real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've all sat near the door in an airplane, right?
Yeah.
And we all, every time we do, wonder if that would happen, right?
Yeah.
My question is, that happens. The door gets sucked off. How does the guy?
Moment the window of.
How does the guy sitting in that seat not get sucked off too?
Do it in your Joe Coy. Do a Joe Coy delivery.
So there's a guy, and he's sitting by the door. We've all seen the emergency exit door on airplanes, right? We've seen them. We've been there, in airplanes. They're flying in Alaska Airlines airplane, and they're going along, and all of a sudden, the door gets sucked off. So if I'm the guy and I'm sitting there, why didn't I get sucked off too?
Boom.
That was a long one. What was that? There you go. What else?
I did have you in mind, Brandon, last night as I was watching that monologue from the guy. I was like, this is exactly Brandon doing stand-up on the show.
Joe
Yeah.
Coy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that same whole
Y'all like me
same
to
vein?
find some more jokes of Joe Coy?
Yeah.
Just
He had to have had. Did anybody watch last night?
No,
surely
I just saw the
He
clip.
had
I
to-
haven't watched an award show in 30 years.
He had to have had one good joke, right? One not that bad
Well,
joke.
he said the ones that people were laughing at were the ones that he wrote. He
I think
said that on stage.
That was almost the worst of it. Was like he turned on the show writers like halfway through his monologue. He was
Yeah.
like, guys, listen, I only had 10 days. The writers wrote some of the jokes. The ones you guys are laughing at, those are
10 days, dude?
The color
that's
purple.
so much time.
That's so much fucking time.
The color purple. Sounds like what happens to your butt when you take Ozempic.
I don't get that one.
That's a real joke from the show last
Said
night.
butt.
Can I read you his excuse?
Yeah.
I am the first solo Asian to do this. Just take down all of Asia with you.
Yeah.
I know what this means to a lot of people, especially the younger kids that are indirectly being inspired by this. So I've got to come through for them. And that's what moving forward is all about. You know what I mean? We learn from our mistakes. The Golden Globes, it's moving forward too. It made shared mistakes, and now we're moving forward in the right direction. I just wish comedians were funny.
Solo Asian?
Solo Asian, yeah.
Was there a duo Asian?
There
Or a group Asian?
was a quad Asian.
Yeah.
Damn, these 4 Asians are killing it.
Yeah.
Hope we never do one.
Flock of Asians that hosted the Golden Globes that one time.
What are the Golden Globes supposed to What are they trying to accomplish?
I don't know.
They're just a warm up for the Oscars, basically, plus TV.
But I think this is the one for the actors to just get together and have their own thing, right? This one's more actor friendly than the Oscars, I think.
They let loose and have fun.
There's like a party, yeah.
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 A blast. Jennifer Lawrence was funny. I saw the clip of her saying, if I don't win, I'm going home.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah. That's
He's
funny.
awesome.
Yeah.
Why do award shows not have the appeal anymore?
Because
we're awarding things that don't fucking matter?
yeah,
but we were doing
That was
that
always
before.
the case, yeah.
because award shows used to be the one time you could see celebrities outside of their. It was this is the same reason late night shows don't work anymore. There used to be ways you could see celebrities outside of their work. So the only time you ever saw Tom Cruise was when he was playing a character on the big screen, and now we're seeing him sit on a couch talking to Oprah or talking to people. Like that's why talk shows were big, was because you got to see celebrities out as they really are. The same with award shows. The Oscars used to be like the one night that all these people are normal people, and now we don't need that anymore because we have social media and we know too much about these people.
That was a great point.
I still like them because I think that the internet is the best when everybody's watching the same thing.
True,
and
yeah.
award shows and like the Super Bowl are moments where everybody's watching the same thing and talking about it, and that's fun for Twitter.
Yeah.
Electric night on
Yeah,
Twitter.
these are
last
good
night.
Twitter nights. You're right about that.
Yeah, but I think that's what it is though. I think when you see Taylor Swift, when you see Jennifer Lawrence being funny, 30 years ago you would have never known that Jennifer Lawrence was funny unless you saw her on a late night talk show or in the context of her like making that face at an award show. So that's why you watch that. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. I thought she was just
I have a question.
that actress from whatever movies.
Do people still like celebrities? I feel like we're so fractionalized that people will love one or two celebrities, fucking love them. I mean, goddamn love them, worship them, and then just not really like the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a Taylor Swift fan,
you
you react like Taylor Swift reacts because she reacts like that.
Yeah, but I think Taylor Swift is just like an anomaly
Okay.
because that defies all logic.
What was Chalamet doing last night?
Making out with Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, they were getting touchy-feely.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Touchy and feely.
I believe so.
I think touchy feely is the same thing.
You might be right about that.
Can't do the feely without the touchy.
It's like a razzmatazz type situation.
Do you think that mean he can dunk? He can probably dunk a basketball, right?
Who?
What?
How
Who?
how tall is
Chalamet. Well, he appeals to Kylie Jenner. He can probably dunk a basketball.
It's true.
Is this our first non-dunking dude?
Good question. Let me look that up.
Ben Simmons could dunk.
That was
Could Devin Booker dunk?
That was
Yeah.
Kendall. Both of
I don't
those
know.
were Kendall Jenner,
Yeah,
brother.
you're right.
Oh, sorry, I got the wrong Jenner.
So Kylie's not a basketball. Who's Lamar Odom?
He
Khloe
played for the
Kardashian.
Lakers.
He was on crack.
Played at Rhode Island too.
Wait, is Kylie the one that was dating
Left-handed,
Tyga?
kind of a
Oh.
point
Stop
forward.
saying Kylie like it's Kyrie.
Kylie Jenner was dating Tyga, and then she had a kid with Travis Scott.
Yeah, there are plenty of people on this list who could not dunk.
Okay. I got my genders mixed up. Sorry. Happens sometimes.
Wait, she was with Drake at one point?
Sure.
Okay.
So she is focused on the rappers.
And then Timothy Chalamet. Wonka.
He can't rap.
And Jaden Smith at a point.
He actually can rap. He has YouTube videos of him rapping from back in the day.
That's true, yeah.
No mincies.
To answer your question, I don't know if it's I'm getting older, so it's just me, but I do feel like people give less of a fuck about celebrities, which is a good thing. It's a great thing. I think the more celebrities have social media and stuff, and the more we do know about them, because that was the mystery. That's why celebrities were so big in the 90s.
Yeah.
There was still mystery around them.
I think you're right.
And now we know enough about them to know that they all suck.
After 1 year of this show, can we do our own award show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we get dressed up, Taylor Swift comes, stuff like that.
What
we call it
awards?
the Mosleys?
Yeah, the Mosleys would work.
Maybe.
What awards are we giving out?
Coolest dude.
Okay.
Best looking dude.
Best podcast listeners? No one does that, right?
We could look into that.
Okay.
We could look into that.
Okay.
Anything else?
What was the? Explain to me the clip of Taylor Swift.
Oh,
What was the other clip?
Selena Gomez.
There's one where she was like, "That's not funny. Never make jokes about me.
Yeah.
I'm very humorless." And then there was the other clip where she was talking to somebody.
Selena was describing going and asking for a picture with Timothy Chalamet, and apparently Jenner shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor was flummoxed that this happened. Just absolutely flummoxed.
Major T.
Brandon's right.
Yep.
Dude, that's embarrassing as fuck.
Because there was a second camera. There was a second camera angle.
How did you know that? How do you know all this, dude?
Who's that person?
How does Brandon know this?
Jack Mack broke it down.
But who's that person?
Oh,
I think that's somebody's.
who are these people? I was hoping the youngsters would give me the play-by-play of why this matters.
Well, Selena Gomez is on the left.
Right
Okay.
On the right. Willem Dafoe.
Well,
hanging out.
Why is Willem
That's
Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe.
Right here on the right.
He's getting in on the gun.
Selena Gomez also has beef with the Kardashians because she used to date Justin Bieber, and the Kardashians allegedly pulled a New Year's Eve location swap where they took Selena Gomez to, like, I don't know, Europe or something, while Haley Baldwin swooped in and stole Justin Bieber from Selena Gomez.
It's true.
So Selena Gomez has beef with the Kardashians.
You're not going to ask him how he knows that?
He should know that.
Why should he know
And
that?
Taylor
he's
Swift
young.
has beef with the Kardashians.
Because he's not 44 years old.
Yeah, but
with
he's
all sorts of. He's not married and living in the
male, he has
suburbs
a
with all
penis?
sorts of kids.
That was Miles Teller's wife or girlfriend.
Oh,
good
good for him, yeah.
Good for him.
Wait, why is Miles Teller's wife sitting in between Taylor Swift and Willem Dafoe?
That's a decent question.
Why is Willem Dafoe there?
What is?
He's chilling, dude.
Is it Willem?
Yeah, it's Will.
Willem.
It's Willem.
Well,
He's the fucking mentor.
He's not.
Can
the
he go by
fucking-
Bill,
there's
then?
There's a lot of guys that are the fucking man that go before Willem Dafoe.
You know, just very iconic actor.
Why do we?
Very good at his profession.
I don't know.
You ever been to an award show, Titus?
I mean,
No, I had an opportunity to go to one. I was told there weren't many people going, and then I looked up and the whole fucking company was there except for me. there was that.
yeah.
Otherwise, no, I don't think I have.
Hmm.
I did. No, I don't think I. I'm trying to think of opportunities I had.
Well, you've lived somewhere where they have awards.
Yeah. When I was out there,
Did you ever happen by one? Like they shut down.
I went to a party. I went to like one party one time,
Yeah.
which was it was not the fun parties. It was like
formal.
I wanted to go to say I went,
Yeah.
and it was not like the parties you hear about. It was just like a random ass party in a garage at someone's house or something. I was like, this is not.
So you just went to a dude named Brad's.
Yeah, like this is not the Vanity Fair party.
So
This
you're
is
just
not the-
saying I went to a party in L.A. and we're supposed to assume that's related to the parties in L.A.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it was like around the time of the Oscars or this.
Right.
Like, yeah, I remember.
There's no reason for you to tie that to this. You just took that and added it to this.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was not saying it was cool. I was saying that like that was the closest thing I came was that I got invited one time to an Oscars party or something, and I got duped. Yeah, I was not passing that off.
No. Now that you say it like that, that is, yeah, we got this invite to an Oscars party. So
Yeah.
dress up and you just show up and there's 8 dudes watching in the garage.
Yeah, it's a bunch of people doing an Oscars pool, and everybody chips in $5, and whoever gets the most right. So yeah, I thought the Golden Globes were, I still don't really fully
So
understand.
they're the precursor to the Oscars, right?
But they do TV as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I want an award show that does everything. I need music. I need I need the CMAs. I need
Yeah.
I need the daytime Emmys.
The
All of it.
awards.
The
The
award.
awards.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the awards. Maybe that's what we do on this show.
Just
We should do like a 6-hour show.
once a year, award everything.
Yeah, video game of the year. And
But in the summer, we're absolutely doing this.
we should do this. It's just like the awards.
Show of the year.
Yeah, and it's
Movie
a
of the
lot of
year?
like I haven't seen that.
Okay.
We go around
Yeah.
like Ebo's like for me, I think you have to look at The Bear and say that was the best show
No.
this year, and then like you and I are like
Never seen it.
didn't really see it, so I'm not gonna vote for it.
No.
And we try to piece together what the best movies
Out of 100
shows.
awards, we give away 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the nominees or anybody that was nominated for any award
Mhm.
all year, those are the nominees, and then we go through
And some who weren't.
and some, yeah, and then we each bring one that we like,
Mm-hmm.
and then we vote on it. That's a great idea. All right, I think that might be the show. Oh, Dabo got the shit kicked out of him. What was that story?
What's up with his eye?
That
Y'all
was
haven't gotten to the bottom of this?
mysterious black eye.
He just shows up.
Yeah.
Also,
Looked fresh, too.
Dabo, listen, God bless you. You ain't got to go to the basketball game. If somebody dotted your eye up, you can sit out the basketball. You can just not go. We don't have to see you.
You think he got some plastic surgery or something?
For what?
I don't know. Maybe he
To
has
put black
a
under his
deviated
eye?
septum or something. I don't know.
That would be both
What
of
are
us.
some? He's got stitches there.
No,
right?
somebody popped him in the fucking eye.
Was he using like a sniper rifle in the kickback of the scope?
That's probably.
You know, you gotta consider that,
You're
that
right.
maybe that
He was
happened.
using a
Yeah,
sniper
I think
rifle.
that's-
He was using a super scope on Super Nintendo.
I just know that one of his old sayings was "Bring your own guts," and
Yeah.
that's pretty gutsy showing up to a game like
This was
So
a
you have to
massive.
commend
This
him.
was a massive game for Clemson basketball. Carolina, like this feels like a year that Clemson could win the ACC. They're not going to now. And yeah, I had Carolina coming in. It was a big opportunity for Clemson basketball, and I think it makes sense that Dabo would want to go to this game. But you all right over there?
Feels
No.
like a look at me move.
TJ's texting the group. I was looking at what TJ. I don't want to say what it is.
I hope he was playing Wii bowling and he let go of the thing, whipped around at him in the face.
Did y'all ever have a moment where you let go of the Wii controller?
Yeah.
Mine, I got lucky. Mine, I did it once because I didn't have it strapped up, and mine hit the ceiling. So, yeah.
All right. That's the show. We'll be back tomorrow breaking down Michigan's national championship win.
Wouldn't Brandon not be able to talk about that?
Oh, I can talk about them winning the national title. I just can't. I can't talk about the nefarious means and all the cheating they've done to get it.
Are you gonna be glazing
Last
tomorrow?
chance then.
I'm not going to glaze. No,
You should do a little glazing. They've earned it.
Yeah.
They've earned a little bit of glazing.
Tomorrow will come tomorrow. Today we still have 8 glorious hours before they win the goddamn thing. So
Connor, manifesto for tomorrow? Oh no.
No.
Oh,
Hey, listen,
oh,
no,
oh.
this guy, man.
it will be done. I'm just
What do
saying.
you mean it will be done?
I wrote my senior thesis in college in a week, and I thought this would be way easier to write than that. It's not. It's taken a lot of time, but it's going to be good.
Joe Coy,
I will have it.
he had 10 days to write the jokes for the Golden Globes.
And he killed it.
And he killed it, and he knocked it out of the park. He was very funny all night. You've had what now? 10 weeks plus?
Yeah, but not to get into my.
You said it
work
would be
schedule.
done by the first of the year.
Yeah, and then we pushed it back.
You pushed it back.
I didn't push it back. I said I could have it. By
How
the
many
beginning of
times
the
did you watch Rudolph Shiny New Year?
year. Just once this year. It was kind of a letdown.
You had so much time off, Connor, that you could have been.
but there was work to be done in the day to day, and then you wake up.
Sure,
and it's like,
Connor
oh,
does
shit.
work hard for the show. I
He
will
does.
say,
He does.
but
And the yacht.
It's a 100-page manifesto.
nobody asked you to do a 100-page manifesto. We just asked you to do a manifesto.
Yes. Why is it 100 pages?
You're
That's
the
gonna
one
take
that
forever.
said
That's
I want
what
to
we-
deliver 100 pages.
That's what we agreed upon on this because we were like, well, it's not going to be 500, but what about 100? Okay,
All right, shut us down, Mark.
I'll have
All right,
it.
we'll see. You're reading something tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to give too
No,
much
I'm,
away.
I'm
too.
telling you, when Michigan wins the national championship, your only out is if Michigan doesn't win. We might punt on the whole thing because Connor manifestos don't work.
Well,
That's your only out. Because
I'm writing the
if
fucking
Michigan wins, you will read something on the show tomorrow that resembles a manifesto.
thing. Yeah. But again, it's going to be long, so I can't read the whole
We
thing.
might have to
It'll be
download another manifesto, like a criminal's manifesto, and have you read it
Yeah.
No.
from your point of view.
Just take the Ted Kaczynski manifesto and plug in Mostly Sports.
Yeah.
instead.
No.
Where it says technology, put all those other shows. And when it says
Yeah. How familiar are you with Ted Kaczynski's manifesto?
what do you mean? The
It seems-
Unabomber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You read it?
I've never read it. I mean, he hated technology. I
Oh.
think that's pretty common knowledge that
Oh.
he hated technology and
It's not common enough to have gotten to me.
oh.
There's a lot of that.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
That's how ball is done.